Good day, everyone. Naririnig po ako.
Yes po, ma'am. Good day.
So I started the recording. Baka makalimutan ko pa. All right. So our topic is about surgical asepsis and sterile technique. Laan mo kami. Kasi baka nabibigyan. Okay? Nag-blip. Okay, so the definition of asepsis is, of course, without infection. Meaning absence. No? So sepsis is, or sepsis is infection. So it is a condition in which the body is considered clean. Yeah. Now, when we say sterility, it is an absolute, or meaning um, free of infectious microorganisms. The absence of microorganisms and spores. No? Now, the team should meet the goal of asepsis, for each surgical case. Now, every time na may operation or surgical operation, dapat ma-meet natin yung goal of asepsis. Aseptic technique is a means, no, of uh, or a means to achieve that goal. So, di ba, wala naman talaga, or no one can eliminate all microorganisms in the surgical environment. Hindi mo matatanggal lahat yun. But everyone can strive, no, to minimize pathogenic microbes, no, for the patient's betterment. So strict adherence to aseptic technique is the most important thing we can do to prevent the patient and staff from acquiring an infection. So we have to, or give yourself time and practice to develop good aseptic technique. No? Of course, everyone makes mistakes. No? Minsan, or most breaks in aseptic technique can be corrected. No? Lalo na kung inire-report agad to immediately. Pag sinabi mo agad na parang na-break ko yung aseptic technique, yung sterile technique, no? Do not be afraid to report a break in aseptic technique. Kasi para mabilis natin siyang magawa ng solusyon or ng paraan. Ang sterile technique is a set of procedures designed to keep the sterile items sterile and to minimize contamination. Medyo nalilito lang tayo, no, dun sa aseptic technique and sterile technique. So yung aseptic technique is like if your hands is dirty, mga ganon, may konting mga alikabok yung kamay mo, you do the hand washing, that's aseptic technique, no? You keep environment clean. But, pag sinabi natin sterile, yun nga, yung absolute sense of uh, infectious microorganism or yung microorganism that can cause infections and also spores. Pero yung mga virus, hindi naman actually kasama dito, no? So, pwedeng magawa na lang ng paraan yon through, let's say, giving antibiotics din sa patient. So, hindi naman talaga natin kayang gawing sterile lahat. Okay? Now, sterile technique incorporates many processes associated with asepsis. But, okay, to a higher or more controlled degree. Hindi pwedeng nagawa natin yung sterile technique without doing the asepsis or aseptic technique. Ano mo i-sterilize yung kamay mo, puro alikabok. Diba? So you have to hand wash muna, tanggalin mo muna yung mga visible dirt. Okay? Para magawa mo yung surgical hand stepping. Now, in sterile technique, all microorganisms must be maintained at an irreducible minimum, meaning as low as absolutely possible. Kasi hindi mo talaga siya ma-eradicate o hindi mo talaga siya matatanggal totally. So the ultimate goal of sterile technique is to prevent healthcare-associated infection o yung tinatawag natin na HIV. Medyo nadidinig po ba? Class, can you hear me? Parang
Yes, ma'am. Po, clear.
nadidinig naman. Okay. Pakisabi po pag medyo mabilis ha. Kasi gumagawa kami ng suman, nagbabalik kami ng suman later. Sabi. Okay. So let's we have the sterile technique approach. So it involves Lara, can you close the window and the door para yung aso yung masyadong maingay? Thank you. Okay, medyo muffled siguro dahil sa internet connection na lang siguro yun. Okay, so stereotechnic approach involves thinking and then doing each surgical procedure from start to finish. No, dapat pinag-iisipan natin lahat ng ginagawa natin. Lahat ng procedure na ginagawa natin, we have to be present-minded. So this requires performing tasks in a way that reduces the risk of infection in patients and staff. Okay? So later, i-discuss na lang natin dito kung paano natin ma-achieve itong sterile field or sterility ng environment para sa patient. Okay, so lahat ng procedure is based on the principle that microorganisms from the air, okay, fluids, in surfaces and dust transmit disease to patients and personnel. Kasi yung microorganism, sumasama yan sa hangin eh. No? Sumasama yan sa dumidikit yan sa fluid. Okay? Doon sa surfaces, no? Lumalapag sila doon. Even sa dust, no? Sumasakay yan sa mga dust para lumipat. Not actually, maano talaga sila, sumasakay sila. Okay? Dumidikit. Now, the results in reduction or elimination of microorganisms to prevent them from touching the sterile field. Okay? So, ganun dapat yung mangyari. Okay? Nare-reduce natin or na-eliminate natin yung microorganisms, no, sa environment para hindi nila matouch yung sterile field. Okay? So, yun dapat yung mangyayari pag ginawa natin yung sterile technique approach. So, may question po ba? May question po ba? Okay. Wala? So later na lang, no, kung may question. So let's talk about the different types of microorganisms that cause infection. But I believe, no, na-discuss na to sa micro and para. Ano lang natin, hapyawan lang po natin ng kaunti. So there are 4 major categories of microorganisms, no, that cause infection in humans. So we have the bacteria, the viruses, fungi, and parasites. So bacteria are by far the most common, no, in infection-causing microorganism. So there are several hundred species, no, that can cause disease in humans and can live and be transported through air, water, food, or soil, no, even in body tissues and fluids. And of course, inanimate objects, yung mga bagay-bagay sa paligid. Okay? Viruses consist primarily of nucleic acid and therefore must enter living cells in order to reproduce. So common virus families include the rhinovirus. No? Ito yung nagkakos ng common cold. Okay? Ano pa? Yung mga hepatitis, herpes, and human immunodeficiency virus. So, yung mga examples natin ng viruses. Fungi includes yeast and molds. So, meron tayong yeast, no? Actually, particularly in females, no? So Candida albicans is a yeast considered to be normal flora in the human vagina. So kung mayroong Candida albicans dyan, so okay lang yon. Huwag lang masyadong madami. But, pag yun, lumipat na, let's say, nag-migrate siya from vagina papunta sa urethral meatus, it can cause infection. Kaya sa ibang part ng body, it can cause infection. Pero kung nandun lang siya sa vagina, hindi siya nagpo-cause infection. Yes, Miss Soriano, may question po ba? Baka hindi ako nadidinig. O, nadidinig ba ako? Hindi ko makita yung volume ko. Okay, sige. Wala pong question? Next is parasites. Parasites live on other living organisms. So they include protozoa such as the one that causes malaria, okay? Yung helminths o yung mga bulate, and arthropods, yung mga mites, fleas, yung mga kuto, ticks, ganyan. So this one, ano to eh, scabies mite, no? So it is a relative of the tick. So both are arachnids like spiders, kasi yung mga kaakayan. But this parasite burrows into the skin, no, rather than biting from the outside. Kasi yung mga kato, yung mga kuto, nagbabite sila outside, di ba? So this one, yun, humuhukay sila sa skin, yung sila sumusuot, nagpapasok sila. That's why sobrang kapit. Okay. Any question? May question po ba? Napindot lang. Okay. So, balik tayo, no? Let's go back to the sterile technique approach. So, in order to achieve sterility, so we have to have the self-monitoring and we have to maintain a sterile field. Ano ba yung sterile field? The sterile field is a microorganism-free area. No? So, para ma-establish natin ang sterile field, nurses use the innermost side of a sterile wrapper or by using a sterile drape. No? Pwede tayong gumamit ng drapes. So, when the field is established, sterile supplies can be placed on it. Natin siya ilalagay sa pinakagitna. We can use sterile forceps, no? Pwedeng pang-handle and transfer ng sterile supplies. So first is self-monitoring. Constant self-monitoring is required for aseptic technique or sterile technique. No? Bantayan mo yung sarili mo. No? Be aware of your sterile field boundaries. Kasi bukod sa babantayan mo yung mga kasama mo, yung buong team, dapat pati yung sarili mo. Okay? Kailangan ko ba lumapit doon? Sterile ba ako? Or unsterile ba ako? Saan ba ako nakakategorize? Member ba ako ng sterile team or ng unsterile team? So, saan lang ako pwedeng lumapit? Ano lang yung pwede kong hawakan? Something like that. Okay? So, if you or anyone contaminates the area, pick up, no? Para ma-fix yun. Kung napansin mo, merong merong nag-break sa sterility, no? Don't hesitate to correct or to notify. No? Sabihin mo kaagad na, nag-break natin yung technique. Gawa natin kaagad ng paraan yan. Okay? So, again, do not hesitate to correct someone's technique, no? When the need arises. So, keep your eye on new team members and other personnel that enter the room temporarily. Bawa, kailangan ng hindi mo biglang nagka-problema sa isang equipment, then you have to call a technician. No? Hindi naman mag-i-stay ng buong procedure yun doon. So make sure na provide sila ng proper attire, like yung gown, nabigyan sila. And then, babantayan mo kasi baka madikit sila doon sa sterile field. No? Otherwise, makakontaminate yung ating sterile field. Now, if you think you may have contaminated something, okay, you must take action accordingly. Okay? So, ang rule of thumb natin here is, if in doubt, throw it out. No, parang feeling mo, "Ay, parang may na-touch ako, parang na-unsterile ako. Parang na-touch ko yung unsterile, like unsterile instrument or parang nadikit ako doon." No? Kung instinct mo yon na nadikit ka doon, na na-unsterile ka, kailangan gawan mo na kaagad siya ng action. Okay? So, we have to take action. We must take action immediately. No? Kung kailangan mo mag-change ng gloves, o kaya kung kailangan mo mag-double gloves, depende pa rin yan sa institution. Kung sinabi ng institution, okay, sige, nadikit ka lang doon. Sige, ano na lang, mag-double gloves ka na lang. Okay? Kasi once na tinanggal mo yung gloves mo, mas lalong tataas yung percentage na lalo kang ma-unsterile or ma-contaminate mo yung sterile field. Okay? So, ano lang yung pinaka-easy o pinaka-mabilis na action? Sige, mag-double gloves ka. So, same thing with, let's say, na-puncture siya. Okay? Sige, so, ulit ng another gloves. Huwag mo lang tanggalin yan. Patungan mo na lang. Okay? Now, do not hesitate to refuse an item from a circulator if it appears it appears to have been tampered with, no? So, rendering it non-sterile. Kunyari, napansin mo nung kukuha ng extra instrument, and then parang nadikit siya somewhere, o kaya na-unsterile yung bit niya na hindi niya napapansin. Okay? So, pwede mo sabihin, ay, teka muna, nadikit ka doon. Ay, nakita ko, naidikit na siya sa ganito o sa ganun. No? Palitan mo na lang, wag na yan. So, do not hesitate, no, to refuse that item. Kasi, siya yung magpo-contaminate sa sterile field. No? So, remember your training and understand your scope of practice. Okay? So, wag niyo kakalimutan yon once na nandun na kayo sa loob ng operating room. Next is maintaining a sterile field. Okay? Ano ba yung sterile field? Asan ba yun? It is, the center of the sterile field is the operative site. No? Kung sa tiyan ng pasyente yun, sa abdomen ng pasyente, yun ang center ng sterile field. Okay? The field expands out to include everything around it. No? Itong mga katabi, no? Yung nail stand, yung mga lagayan ng instrument, yung back table, lagayan dito ng mga malalaking instrument. So, nag-expand yan hanggang doon. Okay, lahat yun sterile. Now, professionals within the sterile field must be attired correctly, no, according to the recommended standards of care. Sterile personnel should wear their scrub attire, yung scrub suit. Okay? Dapat naka-cap, naka-mask, at saka if the need arise, no, yung eye protection, pwede rin kung na-anticipate natin na merong splashing na mangyayari. And sterile gowns and gloves to prevent microbial transference to the sterile field. Okay? Set up the sterile field as close to the time of surgery as possible. No? So once set up, the sterile area should be monitored throughout. Hindi pwede yung night shift ako, 11 to 7 ang shift ko. Meron daw operation, may operation ng, let's say, 8 a.m. kinabukasan. No? So ang ginawa ko, nag-open na kaagad ako, nag-prep na kaagad ako ng ng sterile field ko. Mali. Hindi dapat ganun. Why? Kasi diba yung mga alipato, remember, ang microorganisms were everywhere. Nandiyan yan. Hangin, diba? Nasa mga bagay yan na pwedeng mag-transfer from lahat ng objects sa paligid papunta din sa sterile field. So, dapat, kung kailan siya gagamitin, kung alas 8 ang operation, na wala namang nagsiset ng ganong oras, unless emergency yan, before 8, like 7 o'clock, dun ka palang mag-o-open ng sterile field. Dun ka palang mag-prepare ng gagamitin sa operation. Okay? And then, huwag mong iiwanan. Once na in-open mo na yon, no? Yung surface, yung sterile surface na merong mga sterile instrument, huwag mong iiwanan. Kasi baka mamaya masalisihan ka, may nalaglag na na something doon, may nalaglag na like yung ano yun, maraming galamay, ano ba yan? Spiders, mga ganon, na galing sa kisame, baka mamaya may nalaglag doon. That's why may mga institution that they schedule the dusting, no? Pati kisame talaga, ini-scrub yan. Like, when I was in Biluna, it is a military hospital, sa luwang ng operating room or surgical department namin, ang luwang ng OR nila. So every Tuesday yata yun. Every Tuesday, cleaning day yon. As in, i-scrubin, i-scubahin, hanggang doon sa ceiling. Okay? Kaya walang OR ng ganong araw. So yun lagi ang schedule ng cleaning. Nakalimutan ko na kung anong term nila doon. Pero meron ganun. Okay? So, bawal natin iwan. It should be monitored, no? Hanggang sa matapos ang procedure. Okay? What else? Movement needs to be kept to a minimum within the sterile field to cut down on contamination. Hindi pwede yung nag-code ang patient and then ikaw, nataranta ka naman, lisaw ka ng lisaw, lakad ka ng lakad. Why? Yung hangin mo, umaalipato. Remember, ang microorganism, sumasabay sa hangin yan eh. Sobrang daan nila. No? Pag daan mong gano'n, yung hangin na umalipato na ganyan, may dagdalang microorganism, should land doon sa sterile field natin. Okay? Kaya dapat, ang movement natin, i-minimize natin ang movement. Okay? Huwag yung mabilisan lagi na kilos na ganyan. Okay? What else? Non-sterile personnel never lean over, okay, or reach over the sterile field to give anything to the sterile personnel. Okay, kailangan siya, huwag mo doon iabot. Yung pa sa kabila, sa side niya. No? Kasi ano mangyayari? Pwede magkalaglagan yung mga bit mong microorganism dyan, papunta doon sa sterile field. Okay? So, we never lean over, or unsterile personnel never lean over the sterile field. Okay? Ano pa? An unsterile person does not pass between two sterile surfaces. No? Or rather, he or she must go around the sterile area. No? Di kailangan mong pumunta doon sa kabilang side ng OR. Okay? Kaya lang meron ka dito back table and then hindi mo yung another, let's say, yung mail stand. Pwede ka naman gumilid. Okay, dito ka sa kabila. Eh, ano kung malayo? Bawal kang mag-pass in between sterile field. Okay? Okay. Mabilis po ba? Mabilis po ba? Query lang?
Carry lang po.
Query lang po? Okay. Hindi ko madilig ang sagot. Okay, next. To establish a sterile field, sterile drapes are used. Surgical drapes should minimize the passage of microorganisms by establishing an aseptic barrier between non-sterile and sterile areas. Kumbaga yan yung gate. No? Siya yung harang between non-sterile and sterile areas. Okay? So sterile drapes are used on any item that will be included in the sterile field. No? Kagaya ng patient, yung mga equipment, yung mga furnitures. No? Halimbawa, ito, kailangan niyang gamitin doon sa surgery. So, tatakpan yan. Kagaya nito, meron tayong plastic drapes. No? So, may mga cover lang. Now, the sterile drapes need to be handled as little as possible. Okay? So, this decreases the chances of anything migrating to the sterile drapes, kagaya ng dust or yung lint from the air current created with more movement. Kaya nga bawal kumilos na kumilos doon. So, yung mga sudden movement. Nakita niyo to, oh, di ba may alipato, yung lint, yun. Sometimes dyan sumasabay ang microorganism. So, imagine ninyo kung saan maglaland yan, yung mga particles na yan, o yung mga dust na yan. Di ba? Now, para medyo mabawasan itong mga dust na to, itong mga limbs na to, yun nga. So, okay, yun nga. So, in order to minimize this or to prevent, no, itong pag-alipato ng alikabok or ng dust or ng wind, so yun nga, may mga institution, no, na talagang nagda-dusting, nag-clean, nag-scrubbing ng buong room. Even yung mga equipment, itong mga singit-singit nito, nililinis lahat yan. Sino gagawa nun? Tatawag ba tayo ng janitress or ng institutional, ano ba tawag natin doon? Worker, institutional worker para maglinis yan? Hindi. Tayo pa din kasi hindi nga natin sila pwedeng papasukin sa loob ng operating room. No? So, minsan, sa gabi, sa night shift, ano tayo, taga-linis, tayo mag-dusting dito, dilinis natin, even kung ibabaw na to ng, ano to, OR light, ayan, ito mga to, dilinisin natin. Yung wall, niis po ba yan? Okay? Lahat. So, para walang mga dust dyan na once na madaanan mo, aalipato, kagaya nito. Okay? Dapat ganon. Malinis lahat, everything. Yung mga singit-singit, dapat malinis. Asan ako? Okay. Sterile drapes are held in a compact manner, okay, slightly higher than the OR bed. Okay, and placed first on the surgical site, then to the periphery. Doon muna siya nilalagay. Example, sa abdomen, lagay mo muna siyang ganun. And then, tsaka mo siya ilalatag, no? Papunta dun sa periphery. So, this decreases contamination. Kasi natakpan mo na kaagad yung surgical site. So, kung mag-start ka doon sa may paanan, o kaya dito sa may leeg, tsaka palang papunta doon sa surgical site, probably makontaminate pa yung surgical site. Kaya dapat lagi inuuna yung surgical site. So, modified draping is needed on some procedures, such as on the extremities. Okay? So, kung sa tingin nyo, or sa tingin natin, especially tayo, nurses kasi tayo nagpe-prepare nun, or sometimes sa mga surgeon, no? Na most probably madikit siya dun sa extremities. So, that's the time na kailangan niya i-cover din ang extremities. Now, while draping, the gloved hands need to be protected by cuffing the drape over the hands to decrease contamination. Kasi pag nag-drape ka, naka-complete, ano ka na, naka-scrub ka na, naka-gown ka na, naka-sterile gloves ka na, bago ka mag-start ng draping. So, ibig sabihin, example, ito yung towel, i-drape mo yung isang part ng yung surgical site. Okay? So, para mailagay mo siya, ito yung sterile part, kasi naka-sterile gloves ka, ito yung sterile part. So, yung kamay mo, sterile, you have to cuff. O kaya itatago mo yung kamay. Kita? Wait. Ayan. Welcome back. Okay. Example, ito yung drape. No? So, ito yung magta-touch sa skin. Nakikita ko? Nakikita po ba? Class, nakikita po ba?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. Etong part na to, yung magta-touch sa skin ng patient. Meaning, ito yung ma-unsterile. And then, dun sa inner, yun yung sterile part ng drapes. Naka-sterile gloves na ako. Tapos na ako mag-scrubbing, mag-gowning, and globbing. Okay? So, you have to cover your hands or your sterile glove hands. That's it. Bago ninyo ilagay yung drapes. Lara, come here. Harap ka din, talikod ka sa. Dali, bilisan mo, lalo tayo nagtatagal. Magawala pa tayo ng tumalikod ka. Ayan, for example, ito yung operative site. Okay? I-drape natin. Example lang ha. So, Naka-sterile glove hand, yung sterile glove hand ko, naka-cover doon sa drape. And then, tsaka natin siya ilalagay doon. Okay? Ganun siya. Hindi natin matatouch yung skin ng patient. Kasi pag na-touch natin yun, makakontaminate na yung kamay natin. Nakuha ba? Nakita niyo ba? Ganun, no? Hindi pwedeng ganito maglagay. No. Why? Madidikit yung glove hand mo dito eh. So, dapat, nakatago yung kamay mo. Okay? Nakakap yung kamay mo doon sa, o yung glove hands mo, doon sa drape. And then, tsaka mo siya ilagay. Nagets ba? Naintindihan ba? Thank you, Larry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. May question ba? Is this?
Yes, ma'am. So meaning yung unsterile part of the drape would be touching the surgical site?
Unsterile. Actually, lahat yun sterile. But, once it touches the skin or the surgical site, ayun, unsterile na yon. Kasi didikit din siya dun sa kabilang ibang part eh, kung hindi pa na skin prep yung patient. Hindi ko malaman kasi nakatitingin. Ayan. Okay? So, yon. Yung didikit dun sa skin ng patient, actually, we do not consider it unsterile. Ayan. We consider it unsterile pa din kasi nga, hindi natin mai-eliminate totally or 100% yung microorganism. Okay? So, partly, siya, sterile. So, etong ibabaw, na pag tinatong natin siya na ganyan, itong part na to yung sterile. Yung dito na magta-touch sa skin, sana ba? Yung dito na magta-touch sa skin, yun yung unsterile. Yun, tama ba? Tama ba yung explanation ko sa question?
Parang baliktad po, ma'am.
Po, hindi ko marinig. Baliktad po ba?
Yeah, parang baliktad po, ma'am, yata. Ano, no? I think the sterile one should be touching the skin.
The sterile one should be touching. Ano ba yung nito? Marinig.
Because you are touching, you're covering your hands, the unsterile part. And then you're holding the unsterile part because you're covering your hands, right? So it's supposed to be the unsterile part of the drape.
Oh. Okay, so ang draping kasi is ginagawa natin before mag-start ang procedure, di ba? So ginagawa natin yan to establish a sterile field. It means, pag nag-start na tayong mag-drape, sterile na yung naka-attire na tayo, no? Surgical attire na tayo. Nakasuot na tayo ng OR gown, nakasuot na tayo ng sterile gloves, at saka naka-mask na tayo. Yun na yung mag-start na tayo sa surgery or sa procedure. Okay? So yung draping, kaya tayo naglalagay ng drapes is, yun nga, to establish a sterile field. So hindi naman natin kino-cover actually yung incision site. Yung gilid lang. Okay?
So basically, ma'am, sorry, ma'am. So basically, ma'am, we're all sterile na.
Sterile na tayo lahat. Tama. Ayun. Okay na? Naintindihan ko ba? Tama ba? Tama ba yung explanation ko? No?
Yes po, ma'am. Tama po.
Ayun. Oo. Medyo nalito lang tayo doon. Kasi, yan. Medyo nalito lang tayo doon. Pag nag-start na tayo mag-drapes, ayun, naka-ano na tayo, no? Naka-OR gown na tayo. Naka-scrub na tayo, naka-sterile gloves na tayo. Kaya yung sterile glove hand natin, nandun naka-cover ng drapes. Kasi once na i-touch ng drapes, yung side ng surgical operative site, sterile na yun. That's why we have to cover our sterile glove hands. Tama ba?
Yes po, tama po.
Ayun. Okay, nalito na rin tuloy ako. Ayan. So, ayun. Ganun dapat. Yung pag-fold lang naman ng drapes, ang gusto kong matandaan din. No? So, make sure na naka-cover siya. Hindi tayo pwedeng maglagay ng ganito. And then, ididikit mo ganun. Ilalapag mo ganun. Or, i-drape mo doon sa operative side. Okay? Kasi madudumihan o makukontaminate yung sterile glove hands. Okay, so sabi dito, once positioned in place, the sterile drape should not be moved. Okay, so moving the sterile drape in many ways comprises the sterility of the sterile field. So this one applies to, let's say, dun sa back table. Diba? Inaano natin yan, dinidrape din natin yan, o kina-cover din natin siya ng drapes para para mag-create tayo ng sterile field. Now, limbawa, medyo may pagka-OC ka, no? Gusto mo pantay or hindi nakatabingi. Ang ginawa mo, minove mo. What will happen? Hindi dapat minove, no? Yung drapes. Ano ko ba ipapakita? Sige, ganito. Yes, Doc.
Sorry ma'am to interrupt.
Yes.
Normally ma'am, 'di ba, pag nilagay na natin yung drape, it's either we clamp it para hindi siya talaga malaglag o ma-misplace.
Opo, doon po yun sa may operative side.
Yeah, sa operative side po para ano siya fix and permanent na.
Opo. Sa operative side. So, this one applies nga po dun sa ano nga, yung sa mga lagay ng instrument, like yung back table. So, yun, like yung back table. Kasi, bawa, ito yung ano bang gagamitin ko na, siguro book ka lang, para mas madali mo makita. Example, ito yung ibabaw ng table. Halimbawa, na-drape na natin siya. Ayan. Ayan. I-drape na natin siya. Parang medyo gusto natin pantay. No? So, itong side na to, we consider this as unsterile. No? Actually, hanggang 1 inch mula dito sa edge. So, dapat hindi mo ilalagay yung instrument mo dun sa part na yun kasi we consider it unsterile. Now, medyo na-osik ka, ginawa mo, minove mo. Okay? Na-adjust mo siya, ginawa mo, inusog mo siya na gano'n. Para lang pantay. What will happen? Di ba unsterile na nga itong part na to? So, umakyat pa siya. So, mga unsterile na itong part na to, yung ibabaw. So, yun yung reason, kaya hindi natin siya dapat minimum. Naintindihan ko ba?
Yes ma'am, tama po.
Ayun, malinaw po ha. Hindi na natin siya mumove. Kung ganyan na siya na i-position, yung drape, huwag nyo na siyang galawin. Okay? Huwag nyo na siyang i-move. Kasi yung part na to, baka mapunta pa sa ibabaw, na pwedeng mag-contaminate pa lalo doon sa buong sterile field. Okay? So this applies only doon sa mga back table, doon sa mail stand. Pero doon sa operative site kasi, hindi naman natin i-move yun kasi itaklamp nga natin yun. Sabi nga ni Doc Sensor. Actually, kin-clip yun using power clip. Kaya hindi siya talaga mag-move. Some drapes, meron siyang sticky, ano yun? Double-sided, ano ba yun? Tape na tinatanggalan na parang para idikit siya. So, hindi talaga siya mag-move. Kaya lang dito kasi sa Philippines, walang ganun. Magamit lang tayo ng power clip. Kaya wala kayong makikita dito once na duty na kayo. Especially yung mga nandito sa Pilipinas po. Pag nagkaroon na tayo ng duty, wala kayong makikita noon. Yung makikita nyo kasi later sa video, yung may tinatanggal sila na parang tape siya actually, para ididikit siya sa skin, para hindi siya mag-move. Wala pong ganun dito. So, para hindi mag-move ang drape, magamit lang tayo ng power clip. Okay? May question po ba? Question? May question po ba? Okay. Next is gowning and gloving. No? Must be done in a sterile fashion. So you must perform a surgical hand as antiseptic as recommended before donning gown and gloves. So, bago tayo magsuot ng gown, bago tayo magsuot ng gloves, kailangan nakapag-surgical hand scrubbing tayo or surgical hand hygiene. So, maraming klase yun. Later, i-discuss natin. Now, the front of a sterile gown is considered sterile, from the chest or nipple line to the level of the sterile table or belly button. So, meron ako ditong extra na OR gown. Okay? So, ganito yun eh. Ganito itsura niya, di ba? Nakita niyo na to, di ba? Yung OR natin. OR gown natin. So, pag nakasuot ko, hindi ganito ang tamang pagsusuotan. Meron siyang technique kung paano sa isusuot. Kaya lang wala akong assistant kasi. Okay. So, ito yung ano ko, ito yung waist. Alright? So, sabi, from chest, so itong level na to, hanggang dito. Again, from the chest or nipple line to the level of the sterile table. So, kung ganito kataas yung sterile table, o yung operative site hanggang dito, hanggang dyan ang sterile. Okay? Now, the gown sleeves are sterile from, ito yung elbow. Okay? From 2 inches above. Ito. So, 2 inches above ng elbow. Okay? So, yun yung sterile part hanggang dito. Okay? So, ito dyan. Sa ikot. Meaning, itong part na ito ng kilikili, dito sa shoulder, dito sa neck, saka dito sa kabila, ang sterile na yung part na yun. And of course, yung below ng table level or ng below the belly button, below ng waist natin. Unsterile yun. Kaya hindi pwedeng nakababa yung kamay, hindi pwedeng sobrang taas, no? So dito lang sa level na to kung saan sterile. So dun lang dapat nandun yung glove hands natin. So yung kamay natin. Kunyari, naka-gloves na ako. So dito lang siya dapat. Meron tong pocket eh. Pwede mo itago yung kamay mo dyan. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng nakababa. No? Wala kang, hindi ka tayo nag-start. Yung ka muna. Naka-relax ka. Nakababa yung kamay mo. What will happen to your glove hands? Sterile glove hands. Na-sterile na siya kasi binaba mo. So, dapat dito lang siya. Dito lang siya sa part na sterile. Okay? What else? The back of the gown is considered non-sterile. Okay? Yung before, hindi yan sterile. Alright, your gown should cover you completely and prevent the exposure of the cuffs outside the glass. So, kung ito yung cuff, no? Kung ito yung cuff, dapat yung gloves natin hanggang dito din. Hindi pwedeng nakasilip to. Okay? Ayan nga yung ano natin eh. Yung pinaka-margin natin para hindi siya mahubad, hindi ma-expose yung skin natin. So, pag nagsuot tayo ng gloves, itatak natin ito sa loob ng gloves. So, dapat hanggang dito yung gloves natin. Okay? So, the sleeve cuffs are considered contaminated if your scrub hands pass beyond the cuff. So, dapat yung cuff should rest at or below the waist area. Yes, Doc.
Add ko lang po, ma'am. Usually, ma'am, sa OR, meron sila ring special surgical gloves talaga, yung mas malaki. Para yun na
Mahaba
ginagamit
nga
ko.
actually.
Yes, ma'am,
Opo.
ma'am.
Kaya lang dito, alam na natin, wala tayong mabibiling ganun. Walang available na ganun. Kaya as much as possible na lang, kung hindi magkakasya dun sa cuff, basta wag lang ma-expose yung skin. Ganun na lang nangyayari. Okay. Now, of course, yung sleeves, should not be pulled up. Okay? To expose the cuffs. So, hindi dapat siya ginaganon, yung kagaya ng ginawa ko kanina, di ba? Hindi siya dapat ginaganon. So, unti-unti mo lang siya, mag-slide naman yan pababa doon sa arms ko. And then, with the help of a circulator, siya yung mag-grab. Of course, dapat dun sa loob siya hahawak para hindi makontaminate yung outside part, which is yung sterile part ng gown. Okay? So, yung kamay ni circulator, papasok niya yan dun sa loob ng gown para hatakin. Okay? And then, titignan mo, baka mamaya sa kakahatak mo, lumabas na yung kamay ni scrub nurse. Dapat hindi lumabas. Okay? Actually, medyo mahaba-haba naman itong mapatahin natin. Kaya, kakasya yung mga arms natin dyan. Right? Ayan. So, sa kabilang school ko na nagpapa-return demonstration. May hawak-hawak akong stick. Papaluin ko sila pag nagpapalo. Ganun ba? Ayan. With their permission, klase nyo to eh. Okay. So, we have the principles and practices of surgical asepsis. So, ito din yun eh, yung kaninang diniscuss ko. No? Ito din yung content nun. Okay, so, alright. Okay, so principles, all objects used in a sterile field must be sterile. So these are the practices or the procedures and how to do this. Sterile objects become unsterile when touched by unsterile objects. Okay. Now, sterile technique is the foundation of modern surgery and applied under the following conditions. No? In preparation for an invasive procedure like sterilization of necessary materials and supplies. In preparation of the sterile team to handle sterile supplies and intimately contact the surgical site by scrubbing, gowning, and dressing. Ano pa, in the creation, sterile technique is applied in the creation and maintenance of the sterile field, including the skin preparations and draping of the patients, and internal decontamination, disinfection and sterilization of the surgical procedure. So, madali naman gawin to, di ba? Objects become unsterile when touched by unsterile objects, of course. Common sense. Sterile objects that are out of sight or below the waist table levels are considered unsterile. Now, sterile objects can become unsterile by prolonged exposure to airborne microorganisms. Kaya nga, piniprepare natin ang sterile field as close as possible to the surgical procedure. And then, we have to keep the door, all doors closed, no? And yung traffic, minimum. Dapat lakad ng lakad. Fluids flow in the direction of gravity. So, always hold wet corsets with the tips below the handles. No? Okay, so, ayun, these are the practices no, para ma-maintain natin yung surgical asepsis. So, ayan, sabi dito, during a surgical hand wash, hold the hands higher than the elbows to prevent contaminants from the forearms from reaching the hands. Okay? So, pag nag-hand scrubbing, lagi tayo nakaganito. Nabang camera ko. Lagi tayo nakaganito, di ba? Yan. Especially if nagpa-practice tayo sa bahay. Hala, sige. Sa ganyan lang. Bukas ang plato. Hala, sige. Sa ganyan pa. Okay lang yun. Basta ma-practice natin. Very different kasi itong surgical hand hygiene sa hand washing. Yung clean technique na tinatawag. Okay? Kasi sa clean technique, hindi natin dapat itataas na ganyan yung kamay natin. Di ba? Dapat nakababa lang. Kasi we consider this part as clean. And then itong kamay natin ang dirty. Pagka-clean technique, dapat nakababa lang yung kamay natin. Pag stereo technique, baliktad. Ganyan dapat yung kamay natin. Kasi ito naman ang dirty. Ito naman ang unsterile. So, kung yung fluid pumunta dito and then nag-flow siya papunta dito sa kamay, makakontaminate ng fluid itong hands natin. That's why dapat nakataas yung hands, no? Higher than the elbow. Stand. Okay? So, ayun. Moisture, edges, the skin cannot be sterilized and is interior. Okay? So that's why we use drapes. Conscientiously, or conscientiousness, alertness, and honesty are essential qualities in maintaining surgical asepsis. Basahin nyo to para ma-maintain natin ang sterility. O hindi natin ma-break ang sterile field or sterile technique. Meron pa bang kailangan i-clarify? Very clear naman. Okay, so yun, this one, the edge of sterile field, ayun nga yung sinabi ko kanina, we do not move the drapes, no? Kasi nga, unsterile, no? Yung edges ng sterile field. So, meron tayong margin of 1 inch, no? Doon sa edge. So, yung part na yon hanggang doon sa gilid, we consider it unsterile. So, hindi natin dapat ibababa or ilalagay yung mga sterile instrument natin doon sa edge. Kasi unsterile na yung part na yun. Ma-unsterile yung gamit natin. Okay. Yes. Yes po.
Ma'am, just being curious, what if there in instances that your face is perspiring or something is itchy? How would you maintain the sterility of your hand?
Okay. So, yun yung goal ng mga circulator or ng mga circulating nerves. That's why hindi yan basta sulat lang ng sulat sa gilid. No? Naka-monitor po sila. Nakabantay sila. And, bihira naman po yun na merong pawis, no? Kasi air condition ang lahat ng operating room. Maybe itch, ayun, sabihin nyo na lang. Pakikamot nga yung ganito ko, ganyan, pate, ganun ba? Okay? Kaya before tayo mag-start ng scrubbing, make sure na walang mga hair na nakalabas doon sa cup kasi yun yung pwedeng mag-cause ng itchiness. No? Pwede kang mangate dahil din sa mga hibla ng hair na nagtatouch sa face mo. That's why, before we start hand scrubbing, make sure na malinis lahat yan. Maayos lahat yan. Okay? Pwede mo sabihin sa circulator, parang hindi mo siya itatouch. Okay po ba? Ano pa po? May question pa po ba?
Thank you, ma'am.
Paano po biglang mag-sneeze? O yun, that's why we use mask. Dapat nakasecure ang mask natin. Ang ginagamit natin actually is yung mga ganito, hindi yung ear loop. Okay? Kasi pag ear loop, pwedeng medyo maluwag yan. May mga spaces sa sides. Okay? Pag ganitong detale, may tie, ayan, talagang fit yan. No? Walang air na mag-escape. So, even mag-sneeze ka dyan, makakontain niya yung microorganisms from nose at saka mouth sa loob ng mask. Okay? Na-answer ko ba yung question? Ms. Ledesma, na-answer ko ba yung question? Okay. So, next, appropriate attire in operating room and surgical hand hygiene and gowning and gloving. So, ano ba yung OR attire? Personnel who work in restricted and semi-restricted areas of the surgical suite or suite are required to wear surgical attire, no? Designed to protect both patient and personnel by inhibiting the passage of microorganisms. Ayan, naka-ano na naman ako, no? So, ito yung mga students ko before na nagre-return demo. So, it consists of body covers such as yung scrub suits, okay? Yung hair cap o yung head cover, mask, and scrub shoes, no? Ayan. Purpose is to provide effective barriers that prevents the dissemination of microorganisms to the patient. No? Hindi pwedeng yung suot mo sa labas, yun yung isusuot mo din sa loob. Hindi. Nag-change tayo. Nagpapalit tayo. Merong dressing room. Now, points to remember, only approved clean OR attire must be worn within the restricted area of the operating room. Okay? So, yung mga outside damit natin o uniform natin, hindi mo siya pwedeng ipasok sa loob. No? Magbibihis ka. Then, OR attire is not worn outside the OR suit. Ayan, tinamad ka na magbihis. Ang ginawa mo, bago ka umuwi kasi mag-grocery ka, yun na rin yung suot mo, no? Pag uwi mo. Or, may kailangan kang bilhin sa labas, lumabas ka, naka-OR attire ka, naka-scrub suit ka, and then, babalik ka pa dapat dun sa loob ng operating room. Lalong hindi pwede yun. Okay, remember, may mga microorganism na nag-cause ng infection, sterile sa loob ng operating room, madadala natin lahat ng germs or ng dirt, no? Papasok sa loob. Now, eyeglasses, kung meron kayong eyeglasses, should be wiped with the tissue wet with antiseptic solution, no? To prevent cross-contamination. So, lahat dapat yun, before ka mag-start ng hand scrubbing, nagawa mo na dapat, nalinis mo na siya. And of course, personal hygiene must be emphasized. Huwag kayong papasok na hindi malinis yung mga kuko, hindi malinis yung ibang katawan, hindi ka naligo. Okay? Ano pa? No unauthorized person should be permitted in the OR. No? Nakabantay lagi tayo dyan eh. Mga mata natin, mabibilis yan. Sino yun? Biglang may pumasok. Sino yan? Diba? Makaharang tayo agad. Kasi hindi dapat sila basta-basta papasok sa loob ng operating room. What else? Personnel with skin diseases or wounds must never be allowed to scrub. No, mag-scrub lang naman. Kasi kung may mga sugat-sugat ka, no, okay, may mga skin diseases ka, so pwede mag-scrub eh. Ano ka na lang, circulator ka na lang, huwag ka nang mag-scrub. So, nandun ka lang sa side. Okay? So, yon, jewelry and nail polish should not be worn inside the operating room, especially yung mga ganito. Oh. Pero, if hindi naman matatouch ng jewelry mo yung operative site, like yung mga, ano tawag dito? Quintas, necklace, pwede na yun isuot. Itago mo lang sa loob ng scrub suit mo. Ba't ba naman kasi nasa loob ka ng operating room? May mga alahas ka. Iwan mo na sa bahay, baka mawala lang yung doon. Okay? So, you have to remove rings, ayan. And then, ito, hikaw, though hindi naman siya matatouch, kaya lang dangling eh. Pwede yung mga simple lang na earrings, no? Kasi baka mamaya malaglag yun, hindi natin masasabi, tulog. Kaya yung naka-hook lang na gano'n, yung nakasabit lang na hikaw, di ba may mga gano'n? Or naka-clip, makabiglang pag ganyan mo, pag lingon mo gano'n, tulog siya. So, iwan sa bahay yan. Okay? Removal of watches and bracelets allows for more thorough hand washing. Okay? Alisin mo na yung bracelets mo, alisin mo na yung mga watch, yung relo, bago ka mag-hand wash. Kasi may mga singit-singit yun, may mga microorganism doon na pwedeng mag-cause ng infection. So, ano-ano ba yung components, no, ng attire? Appropriate surgical attire in the operating room includes hats or hoods, no? O yung hair cap, okay? Scrub suits, no? Commonly referred to as scrubs. Okay? And yung shoe covers. Okay? So, yung scrubs must be done before entering restricted or semi-restricted areas. Kaya may mga floor plan ang operating rooms. No? Para yung flow ng traffic, pinag-iisipan niya yun. May mga approved plans. Saan yung restricted area, saan yung semi-restricted. Sa susunod na lecture natin. Dito muna tayo sa gowning, gloving, surgical hand scrubbing, gowning, and treatment. Now, yung hats and hoods are worn so that all head and facial hair is completely covered. Hindi dapat ganitong itsura. Takpan mo yan. Lalo to, yung mga buhok-buhok dyan. Make sure na walang nakalabas na buhok. Okay? Covered lahat yan. May mga nurses na, ayun, because of their religion, kailangan takpan. May mga ibang design, no, ng hoods. So, meron parang hijab, ito, naka-cover niya lahat. Yan. Available naman to, medyo mahirap lang sigurong kumanap. Hindi ko alam kung nakakabili nito sa market. Yung mga ganito. Hindi ako sure. Siguro baka sa Lazada meron. Yun lang, hindi ako sure kung meron. Anyway, natatakpan naman, no? Ayan, may mga, basta available siya, may mga ganyan. Alright, shoe covers required only to be worn to prevent spread of microorganisms. Kung wala kang, ano tawag doon? Scrub shoes na tinatawag. Okay, iba kasi yung outside shoes. Pagdating sa loob, pag nag-change ka ng attire, nagpalit ka, nag-scrub suit ka na, ang gagamitin mo, yung slipper na meron doon kaya magbaon ka ng sarili mo. Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag na scrub shoes or scrub slipper na para doon lang. Hindi siya nilalaba. And wala, edi lagyan over, pero mas maganda kung i-change. And then masks. So, high filtration masks are worn in the restricted area in the presence of open sterile supplies. So, before pandemic, kung wala pa namang operation, walang inooperahan, ayan, nag-fold lang kayo ng mga trays or mga instrument, ayun, kahit hindi ka na mag-mask, huwag ka lang papasok dun sa sterile area, which is yung operating room suite, yung mismong kwarto. No? Pero kung nandun ka sa may hallway, pwede nang walang mask. Kaya lang nag-pandemic so lagi talagang nakamask tayo. So before yung outside mask natin, pagpasok natin ng OR doon sa semi-restricted area, papalitan na natin yun. Another bagong mask. Yan. So yung mask, it should cover the nose and mouth completely and securely. Kaya mas maganda kung ang gamit natin yung merong tali. Kasi kung earloop na, ayun, merong mga mask na medyo maluwag sa atin. So pwedeng merong space dito, meron dito. And then it has, or most masks contain a small malleable metal strip dito sa may gawing nose. Na dapat ipipinch natin yun, no? To conform the nose. Okay? So, to provide a secure and proper fit. So, dapat, before tayo mag-hand scrub, ikakabit muna natin yun. Maano muna? Cup muna, and then mask. Tapos, kung meron kang eyeglasses, ayun, isuot mo na rin siya. And then, merong mga mask, no, na merong face shields or splash guards. Pwede rin naman yun. Or yung mask worn with protective eyewear, such as goggles or glasses with side shields. No? So, sinusuot lang natin yon whenever splashes, sprays, or aerosols of potentially infectious agents, kagaya ng mga blood, are anticipated. And then, other attire worn to protect personnel from infectious agents includes gloves, liquid-resistant aprons, and gowns. So, ang magdidictate nito is yung hospital policy or institutional policy. No? If or whether scrubs are to be removed when leaving the operating room suite or fresh ones done upon re-entry. Or if gagamit tayo ng cover gowns or lab coats. No? Like for example, kailangan natin pumunta dun sa OB ward, no? From operating room. So, kadalasan naman, meron tayong sinusuot na lab coats o yung kulay white na pang cover para hindi na natin huhubarin yung scrubs natin. Okay? So, pwede naman yun. But then, depende pa rin sa hospital policy in case na kailangan natin bumaba. Right. So, yan ha. Dapat before ka mag-scrub ng hand, yan, suot ka na ng apron o yung fluid-resistant aprons kung kailangan mo ng eyeglasses, ayan, dapat nakasuot na yan bago ka mag-scrub ng hands. And then, pag nag-suot ka na ng sterile gloves, ayun, dapat hindi actually lumilitaw yung cuff, kagaya nito. Dapat nakatakip siya, naka-cover yun. So, these are the criteria for attire. Effective barrier for microorganisms. And then it's resistant to blood and aqueous fluid. Aqueous fluid abrasion to prevent penetration by microorganisms. So designed for maximal skin coverage, hypoallergenic dapat siya, cool and comfortable. And then pliable material to permit freedom to movement. Kasi mahirap yung parang hindi medyo stretch, no? So, dapat medyo maluwag ng kaunti para medyo makagalaw ka ng gusto. And then easy to don and remove. Question? May question po ba? Para move na tayo sa surgical hand hygiene. Okay. Surgical hand hygiene is the process of removing as many microorganisms as possible from the skin of the hands and arms before donning sterile surgical attire. No, so, purposes of specialized hand hygiene tools to decrease the number of resident microorganisms on skin to an irreducible minimum. So normally, may mga microorganism talaga dyan, pero hindi siya nagkakos ng infection. We call that resident microorganisms. Diyan lang siya. Okay? Nandiyan lang siya. Pero hindi siya nagkakos ng infection or ng sakit, no? Sa human. Pag yung ibang microorganism naman na nagland dyan, na normally hindi sila dyan nakatira, we call it transient. Now, to keep the population, to keep the population of microorganisms minimal during the surgical procedure by suppression of growth. No? So, hindi siya dadami. Dapat masuppress yung pagdami niya. To reduce the hazard of microbial contamination of the surgical wound by skin flora. Remember, di ba, yung Candida albicans, di ba, normally makikita yun sa vagina and then hindi siya nagkakos ng infection. Pero pag napunta siya sa ibang part ng katawan, pwede siyang mag-cause ng infection. So, ganun din to. No? So, meron tayong ginagamit na mga products or agent, no, para sa surgical hand asepsis. So these are the characteristics of acceptable surgical hand preparation agent. So first, agents used for surgical hand antisepsis should reduce microorganisms on intact skin significantly. No? Dapat halos matanggal niya lahat or mabawasan yung mga microorganisms sa skin. So they are expected to have a broad range of activity, okay, So, hindi lang doon sa isang specific na microorganism siya effective, dapat lahat or medyo malawak, lahat ng klase, almost. Non-irritating din dapat and have a wide margin of safety. Hindi yung halos namula na yung skin natin o nangati na tayo. Second is the agent should have both antibacterial and antifungal activity. Okay? Activity against virus and spore-producing bacteria is part of international test procedures. Kaya ito lang yung binanggit dito. Okay? So, antibacterial and antifungal. So we have alcohol-based formulations as pre-operative surgical hand preparation. Mga alcohol-based natin. So surgical hand antisepsis with alcohol-based hand rubs are suitable for the prevention of surgical site infection. Okay? Yung SSI na tinatawag. So these agents have a rapid onset of action, bilis na tumatalab, with less side effects and low risk of recontamination when rinsed with water. Parang extended ang action yan. No? So kahit na nabanlawan mo na, hindi pa rin nagkakaroon ng recontamination. Okay? So numerous studies have demonstrated that alcohol-based formulas or formulations containing 60 to 95% alcohol alone or 90 to 95% alcohol combined with small amounts of quaternary ammonium compounds like hexachlorophene or chlorhexidine gluconate reduce bacterial counts on the skin immediately, no? Post-scrub more effectively than the other agents. So that's according to study. Ano ba yung mga products na to? Antimicrobial, it has antimicrobial activity. So this should include destruction of a broad spectrum of pathogenic organisms. No? So, dapat yung mga nagkakos ng mga sakit, no? Sinabi natin pathogenic, yung mga microorganism na pwedeng mag-cause ng infection o ng sakit. No? So, dapat medyo broad, no? Lahat halos sakop niya, na kaya niyang i-destruct. Okay? Persistent activity, the microbial agent should be long-lasting for long cases. Halimbawa, may mga products na naglalast ng 4 to 6 hours na talagang hindi magkakaroon ng growth or hindi magkakaroon ng recontamination. Especially pagka medyo matatagal na procedure. Ba? Lalo na yung sa mga brain surgery, medyo matagal yan, 18 hours, 20 hours. So, dapat yung gagamitin na product is dapat long-lasting. Yan. Safety, the agent should be safe for the skin and eyes of the person using it. Diba? Minsan may mga agent na may fume, na masakit, nakapili sa mata. So, dapat hindi ganun. So, as well as being non-irritating and sensitizing. So, the environment also needs to be considered, no? As the agent may have long-term harmful effects. Pagpunta niyan sa lupa, ayun pala, no? Na-peggy belts na yung mga halaman. So, dapat hindi ganun. Ano pa? Acceptance. This is more subtle characteristics which may include color. No? Baka naman mamaya, ang pangit ng kulay nito. Parang lalong ang dumi. Mga ganun ba? Smell and feel. And is required for antiseptic uptake by the surgical team. So, dapat yung acceptance, no? Acceptance should not be underestimated. So, dapat accepted tong agent na to na gagamitin ng surgical team. Ay, ayoko niyan, baho niyan. Tanungin mo, okay lang po ba, Doc? Ito po yung gagamitin natin na ganito. Pwede bang yung isa na lang? Kasi gusto smell niya. Ganon. May allergy ako dyan. Wala ba tayong ibang agent na pwedeng gamitin dyan? Something like that. Okay? Question po? May question po ba? Mamadalian, no? Parang nagugutom na ako. Anyway, mabilis lang po. Madali na siya. Kasi may mga videos tayo na pwedeng panoorin. And then, for the demonstration, ayun, sa Wednesday pa. So, we have 3 types of antiseptic solutions. The aqueous scrubs, so usually contain chlorhexidine gluconate o kaya yung povidone iodine. No? So, using aqueous solutions requires a surgical scrub. Ayan. Kaya lang hindi na tayo masyadong gumagamit. Yun nga, kung ito yung gagamitin natin na antiseptic solution, dapat meron tayong scrub or brush. Yung gagamitin. Ayan. Hindi naman sobrang matitigas na brush yun, no? Malalambot lang siya. Okay? Alcohol rubs. So, 3 main types of alcohol, the ethanol, isopropanol, and N-propanol. So, this involves rubbing, no, the alcohol solution into the hand systematically following removal of visible soiling or a preliminary hand wash. Hindi pwedeng mag-alcohol rub ka, eh may mga alikabok pa yung kamay mo. So make sure na nag-preliminary hand wash ka muna. Mag-hand washing ka muna din. And then, tsaka magagawin yung alcohol rubs. Okay? Then, third is yung alcohol rubs containing additional active ingredients. So these include chlorhexidine gluconate, iodophores, biconides, and phenolic compounds such as yung hexachloroquine and triclosan. And then meron din tayong water and waterless scrubs. Now, the Association of Perioperative Registered Nurses, or the AORN, recommends that surgery personnel do a hand scrub before donning sterile gown and gloves. Yeah? Now, use an antimicrobial scrub agent for surgical hand antiseptic or alcohol-based antiseptic surgical hand rubs approved by the Food and Drug Administration. Now, new Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidelines support the use of alcohol-based hand rubs. No, kung yung mga iba sa atin, sa inyo class, like sila Doc Cesar, definitely nakapag lang sila sa loob ng operating room, di ba? So, at saka pag nag-duty pala kayo sa OR, yan, sometimes makikita nyo, ay, bakit hindi na sila nag-hand scrubbing? So, it depends, no, doon sa product na gagamitin. Okay? So, yun nga, sabi ko kanina, as I mentioned a while ago, di ba? Pag ito ang gagamitin natin, yung mga povidone iodine, ayun, kailangan natin mag-scrub doon. Pero kung gagamit tayo ng mga water-based, ayan, meron tayo mga waterless products, no, na hindi na kailangan magbanlaw, hindi na kailangan mag-rinse. Meron din naman na kailangan natin, parang soap, ayan, na merong rinsing na tinatawag. Okay? A surgical hand scrub will reduce the transient and resident microorganisms and maintain a level under the baseline. So you need to rub the skin with or without a sponge or brush. Okay, to create, kailangan is i-rub, no? To create friction and bends with running water to flush the microorganisms. Okay? May mga foams naman, may mga product na foam siya na pwedeng gamitin without water. Okay? So the alcohol base of the foams reduces the transient and resident microorganisms. And then may mga soap din, no, that can be used with or without water. So depende din sa type. Right? So ito yung mga examples, no, ng waterless and product na kailangan ng water. Right? So we have the descriptions, the advantage, and disadvantages. Yung mga waterless natin, example is itong Alcare, ito yun. Foam pala siya, ayan. So, designed for hand antisepsis and moisturizing in the OR, leave-on surgical scrub. So, broad spectrum siya, antimicrobial activity, and effective immediately in up to 6 hours. So, you see, depende sa product, no, kung sila yung nagde-determine or nagsasabi kung gaano katagal ang effectivity niya. Okay? Kaya lang, disadvantage nito is highly flammable. So, dapat never use on mucous membranes. Okay? And then we also have Avagard, okay? Dissecting waterless Surgiset. Ito po yan. Okay? So, brushless hand antiseptic for surgical hand scrubbing decreases bacterial growth up to 6 hours. So, madali lang siyang gamitin and i-apply. Ayan, no? Foot operated na siya. Yung lalagyan, yung canister niya. Inaapakan lang to and then lalabas na yung product. Ayun solution. or yung agent. And then, yung kailangan ng water, we have UV cleanse. I think ito yun. Okay? So, it has a variety of uses. Surgical hand scrub, hand wash in hospital setting. Pwede rin siyang gamitin sa pre-op skin prep, and as a general skin cleanser. So, effective against a broad range of microorganisms, can be used repeatedly throughout the day without causing problems. Yun lang. TB cleanse can cause hearing loss and never use with ear or face cases. Okay. And then we have BB Easy Care. Ayan. Tapos meron din tayong mga brushes, no, na nakapack, na meron na siyang kasamang solution or yung antiseptic solution. So, pag binuksan mo, meron na din siyang set sa loob. So, product line includes rinseless and brushless alcohol-based scrub, ayan, foam solution, and a variety of impregnated and dried brushes. So, it kills a broad spectrum of organisms, including multi-drug resistant organisms. Ayan. Yun lang, highly flammable siya. And then, do not use on mucous membrane. And then we have the Hibistat. Ito yun. Available in foam or liquid applications. So, shorten surgical scrub time, increase compliance, proven effectivity. Yun din, highly flammable din siya. Okay? Alright, so we have the procedure for surgical hand hygiene. Now, the staff person wears all the appropriate attire for the restricted area before entering the operating room. So, dapat naka-scrub suit na siya. Meron na siyang head cover. Meron siyang, kung anticipated ang splashes, dapat meron na siyang eye protection at saka naka-mask. Okay? So, the gown and gloves must be opened before performing surgical hand hygiene. Okay. So, once na na-open na yung gown and gloves, ayun, pwede ka mag-start ng hand hygiene. Okay? So, the skin and nails should be kept clean and in good condition. Okay. Ano pa? The cuticles should be uncut. Kasi yung ano po? Ayan, cuticles. Yung nandito sa, yun, dapat hindi yung kinat. No? Kasi baka mamaya may break in the skin, o kaya may sugat. If hand lotion is used to protect the skin, a non-oil-based product is recommended. Okay? The fingernails should not reach beyond the fingertips to avoid glove puncture. No? Kasi pag mahaba ang kuko ninyo, pwede niyang mabutas yung gloves. Okay? Fingernail polish should not be chipped or cracked. And then freshly applied polish may be worn if permitted by facility policy. Naku, wag ka nang mag-Q-tips. Bawal din ang, what do you call this? False nail. Ano ba tawag dito? Artificial nail. Ayan. No jewelry. So, kanda rin yung protection. Now, artificial nails, kasi di ba, artificial nails harbor microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, and are inappropriate, no, for scrub personnel. So, lahat ng jewelry, tatanggalin from the fingers, wrist, no, kamay dito, and sa neck, or kaya better itago sa loob. Jewelry, kasi ito, nag-harbor to ng microorganisms. What else? All hair should be covered by headwear. Wala dapat nakalaylay na hair dyan, hair strands. Dapat nakatago siya. Pierced ear studs should be contained by the head cover because they are potential foreign body in the surgical site. May malaglag yun. So, dapat natatakpan siya ng head cover or headwear. So, before ka mag-start ng hand scrubbing, make sure na tingin ka muna sa mirror kung tama na ba yung ayos ng head cover mo. Natakpan ba ng lahat? Wala natirang mga buhok. Okay? Ano pa? Adjust the disposable mask snugly and comfortably over the nose and mouth. Okay? So, dapat saktong-sakto yung sikip niyan, ha? Huwag masyadong masikip, huwag din masyadong maluwag. Para komportable ka during the procedure. What else? Clean your spectacles if they are to be worn. Adjust and secure protective eyewear or the face shield, no? Comfortably in relation to the mask and spectacles. Ayan. So, dito kasi kailangan niyang magsuot ng eye goggles. So, what if meron ka pang eyeglasses? Tapos goggles, parang ganun. So, shield na lang siguro yung gamitin. And then, you have to adjust water, no, to a comfortable temperature. Okay, so cooler water helps to minimize dry skin. Hot water can increase chafing by decreasing the greasing, okay, the skin. Okay. Ano ko tatanggalin ko? Ayun. Now, when arriving in the surgical department for the day, the first hand cleansing should be a brush scrub. Halimbawa, meron tayong 5 procedure. Okay? Ngayon, simula umaga hanggang hapon. Okay? So, pagdating natin doon, kailangan ang first hand cleansing na gagawin natin is brush scrub. Either timed or a counter brush stroke method. Okay? So, care is taken to avoid scrubbing longer than 3 to 5 minutes because skin can become abraded and release microorganisms from hair follicles. Dati nga, gumagamit talaga kami ng brush na masakit. No? Namumula na yung skin. But ngayon, may mga study na it can cause the skin to become, nasusugat niya. And then, what will happen? Nare-release na yung mga microorganisms from hair follicles. So, hindi na tayo gumagamit. Ang ginawa nila, nag-produce na lang sila ng mga antiseptic solution or agents na pwedeng makabawas pa rin o mas magandang gamitin compared dun sa paggamit ng matitigas na brushes. Ngayon, surgical hand antisepsis should be performed according to hospital policy, which should specify the agent and the method to be used. No, hindi yung, ito kasi yung inaral namin sa school. According to theory, dapat hand scrub, no, using a brush, no, sabi sa theory. Depende pa rin sa hospital policy yan. And of course, kung ano yung gagamitin na antiseptic solution. Okay? So, better na alamin natin yung policy. Ano pa? The manufacturer's recommendations and supporting literature regarding use of the agent should be incorporated into this policy. Pag sinabi niya nung manufacturer ng antiseptic solution, kailangan mong mag-hand scrub muna, no, para mas lalong maging effective itong product namin, no, using brush. Di gawin mo yun. Okay? Pero pag sinabi niya, okay na kahit hindi ka na mag-hand scrub, di huwag ka na mag-scrubbing, huwag na. Okay? So, depende pa rin siya sa manufacturer's recommendation. Class, nandyan pa po ba?
Yes po.
Hello? Ayun, nandyan pa sila. Okay. Baka ako na lang mag-isa. Okay. Dire-diretso kasi, no? Medyo nakalimutan ko na, hindi. Meron pala ako nakikinig. Baka nakatulog na kayo. Alright. Now, in surgical scrubbing with a brush, so antiseptic soap and water, the skin is cleansed of microorganisms using the following 2 properties, no? Mechanical and chemical. So, yung mechanical properties, it removes soil and transient organisms with friction. Okay, dapat may friction. So, nails are clean under running water with a nail stick. Okay. And then chemical properties reduce resident flora and inactivate microorganisms with an antimicrobial or antiseptic agent. Okay, so yun yung ginagawa ng chemical properties ng agent, antiseptic solution. In an antiseptic hand gel method, okay, the antimicrobial chemical properties of the gel kill microorganisms. So, the antiseptic hand gels do not use mechanical action or friction. Okay, kakalat mo lang yon, yung gel. There's no water means to physically remove microorganisms. So the main action is more on chemical. The antiseptic does not remove debris from under the nails and hands. So ginagamit lang natin yung mga gel after ng hand scrubbing. Okay? Di ba sabi kanina, kailangan initially mag-hand scrub tayo. So, di ba, natapos na yung isang operation, may susunod na procedure. So, that time, kung wala namang mga visible contamination o wala ka talaga nang hawakan ng mga fluids, blood, ganyan, or body fluids, direct contact with the skin, pwedeng, ito na lang yung gagamitin natin, ha? Yung alcohol base o yung mga antiseptic gel. Okay? Kaya lang, pag gagamit tayo nito, dapat completely dry na nga ang kamay bago magsuot ng gloves. Okay? Okay, so this one is from the World Health Organization guidelines on hand hygiene in healthcare. So same lang din naman siya. So these are the steps before starting surgical hand preparation. Keep nails short and pay attention to them when washing your hands. So kasama yun, no? Sa nililinis natin. Okay? Nail tip, o kaya binabrush natin yung nails natin, yung ilalim na din. Okay? Do not wear artificial nails, okay? We discussed this already. Washing hands and medicated soap before entering the operating theater. Now, yung pre-hand wash or preliminary hand wash, gagamit tayo ng mga non-medicated soap, no? Para lang matanggal yung mga visible soil or visible dirt, no? Bago tayo mag-start ng mga medicated soap. No? Ano pa? Clean subingual areas with aerosol. Okay. 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 So I'm going to play this video of anatomical surgical hand scrub procedure with brush stroke method. So para ma-practice na ninyo to, no? Before kami magpa-rep din. Para ma-practice na ninyo, ha?
This video is for training purposes only. Surgical site infections, or SSIs, remain a prevalent threat.
Ay, nadidinig ba? Dinig siya?
Yes po.
Okay. Ulitin ko ulit, ha? Kasi baka ako hindi nadidinig. Okay.
This video is for training purposes only. Surgical site infections, or SSIs, remain a prevalent threat to patient safety. Proper surgical hand scrub or rub techniques are essential to decreasing its incidence. This video provides instructions on anatomical surgical hand scrub procedure using the brush stroke method. If done correctly, this procedure should take 3 to 5 minutes. Before beginning the surgical hand scrub procedure, you must remove all jewelry from both hands and arms. Inspect your skin and nails. Ensure your skin is free of any cuts and wounds. Nails must not extend past your fingertips, and nail polish must be intact without chips or scratches. Remember, acrylics, artificial nails, and nails with foreign bodies are not allowed in the operating room. Put on your personal protective equipment. Make sure your hair and ears are tucked into your surgical head covering and that any neck jewelry is contained in your surgical attire scrubs. Don proper eye protection and a surgical mask covering your nose, mouth, and if applicable, facial hair. To begin the scrub, tear open a sponge of your preferred hospital-approved antiseptic, either chlorhexidine or betadine, also known as povidone. Place the open packet on the shelf above the sink with a tear facing the ceiling. You must pre-wash your hands and fingers only if this is the first case of the day, or if your hands are visibly soiled. Use the soap from the dispensers located within the scrub sink or in a separate container above the sink. Then, use the disposable nail pick and clean under your fingernails under running water. Dispose of the nail pick in the trash can beside the scrub sink and rinse hands and fingers. Once hands and arms have been washed, remove the sterile surgical sponge from its wrapper and moisten the sponge under running water by squeezing and releasing it. With fingertips together, use a light but firm pressure to stroke the nails in a back and forth motion with the abrasive brush side of the sponge approximately 30 times. The abrasive brush side is only used on your fingertips. The non-abrasive side should be used for the remainder of the scrub. Next, turn the surgical sponge over to the non-abrasive side. Place fingers side by side, including the thumb, and scrub with the surface of the palm 10 strokes. Then, turn the hand over and scrub the dorsal surface 10 strokes. Next, scrub the outside surface of the thumb from wrist to tip of the thumb 10 strokes. Continue to apply 10 strokes to the other side of the thumb and to each side of your fingers. Once you scrub an area, do not go back. Now that you scrubbed your hand, it's time to scrub your arm on the same side. Mentally divide the forearm into thirds from wrist up to 2 inches above the elbow. When scrubbing each third of your forearm, apply 10 strokes to the top, bottom, and both sides of each section. Like before, once you scrub an area, do not go back. Repeat the scrub on the other hand and arm. Once both hands and arms are complete, discard the surgical sponge in the trash can beside the scrub sink. Start rinsing at your fingertips and continue to the hand, forearm, and elbow, moving in one forward direction through the water. Always keep your elbow at a right angle and hand raised above the level of your elbow. Do not move arms back and forth in the water. If you need additional rinsing, completely remove your arm from the water stream and re-enter at the fingertips until you reach the elbow. Once rinsing is complete and no antiseptic remains on the hand and arms, turn off the water with the knee control. To avoid contamination, keep hands above the level of the elbow and away from scrub attire and non-sterile surfaces. Allow residual water to drip off the elbows and into the sink. Do not shake or wave hands and arms to remove excess water. Walk backwards through the operating room door and dry hands and arms with a sterile towel before donning a sterile surgical gown and gloves.
Okay. So, i-upload ko na lang po sa Google Classroom para pwede ninyong balikan yung procedure. So, ang question lang here is, after ng one hand or one arm, ano yung gagamitin natin na sponge? Okay? Kasi hindi naman pinakita. Actually, kasi naggamit na natin yung lure. I-rinse lang natin siya. Alright? And then may mga yung lagayan ng mga product or ng antiseptic solution, may mga foot operated, gaya kanina na inaapakan and then lalabas na siya. Pwede natin siyang linisin muna na gano'n and then rinse para mas sterile ulit yung sponge natin. Okay? And then, tsaka mo ilipat doon sa na-scrub mo na kamay. Right? And then, lagay ulit ng solution, scrub, and then start scrubbing the other hand. Ganun lang. Question? May question po ba? Question? May question po ba? Um, let's have a 5-minute break, no? Last, nadinig po ako. Yes po. Okay. I-stop ko muna ang recording para hindi ganun kahaba yung video, no, ng lecture natin. And then, let's have a 5 to 10 minutes break. Meron lang akong gagawin sa baba. Okay? I-stop ko muna ang recording and then, paalala nyo sa akin before ako mag-continue na start ulit natin ang recording. Ha?